Configuration drift is the gradual divergence between a system's current state and its approved baseline. It occurs when patches, manual changes, or urgent fixes modify settings without documentation. Drift increases risk because untracked changes can weaken defenses or introduce instability. Detecting and remediating drift requires tools that regularly compare live configurations against stored baselines. Automated reporting highlights differences and prioritizes what needs correction. Some organizations schedule daily scans, others integrate drift detection directly into their configuration management pipelines. The goal is to make deviation the exception, not the norm. Drift management also strengthens audit readiness by showing that deviations are noticed and resolved quickly. Change approval and traceable records form the governance backbone of configuration management. Every configuration adjustment should have a recorded request, an approver, and an execution record. This traceability ensures that changes are not arbitrary, but linked to legitimate needs, such as performance optimization or vulnerability mitigation. A simple ticketing system can record this life cycle from request to validation. For auditors, such traceable records demonstrate control over who can alter configurations and when. The lack of documentation signals unmanaged risk. Even in small environments, the discipline of documenting approvals transforms ad hoc operations into a managed process that withstands both scrutiny and incident review. Segregation of duties keeps no single individual in control of every stage of a configuration change. The person who requests a change should not be the same one who approves and implements it. This separation limits the chance of accidental or intentional misuse. In larger organizations, automated workflows enforce this separation through defined roles. In smaller teams, compensating controls like peer review can achieve similar assurance. The principle is simple but powerful. Shared responsibility prevents unilateral decisions that could expose systems. During audits, reviewers often verify that change approvals and implementations involve distinct personnel or role identifiers, confirming that oversight is real and consistent. Infrastructure as Code, often abbreviated IAC, introduces automation and repeatability into configuration management. Instead of manual edits, configurations are expressed in version-controlled code files. This approach allows teams to test changes before applying them and to roll back if something goes wrong. Guardrails such as automated linting or policy checks prevent insecure configurations from being deployed. For example, a policy might block any template that opens unrestricted network ports or disables encryption. Infrastructure as Code turns configurations into living documentation, transparent, reviewable, and secure by design. Auditors value this model because it reduces human variability while leaving a clear, inspectable trail of change. Secrets management should always remain separate from general configuration data. Passwords, keys, and tokens must never appear in plain text within configuration files or code repositories. Instead, they belong in a dedicated secrets vault or encrypted management service that grants temporary access when needed. Keeping secrets isolated limits exposure if configurations are shared or stored improperly. Automated retrieval methods ensure that sensitive values are injected only at runtime, never embedded permanently. For auditors, strong separation between secrets and configurations signals maturity in security design. It shows awareness that even well-intentioned automation can create risk if secrets are mishandled. Production access and change windows define when and how modifications are allowed in live environments. These boundaries reduce the chance of disrupting critical services during business hours. Change windows might occur overnight or during planned maintenance periods, allowing teams to coordinate testing and rollback procedures. Access to production systems should be restricted to authorized personnel following an approved schedule. This structure prevents unsanctioned or accidental changes that could degrade performance or security. Documented change windows also provide auditors with proof that configuration management operates under predictable, controlled conditions rather than spontaneous decisions. Rollback plans provide insurance against unintended consequences. Even well-tested configuration changes can produce unexpected results once deployed. A rollback plan outlines how to restore the previous configuration quickly, minimizing downtime. These plans often rely on backups of configuration files or version-controlled snapshots. When combined with automated deployment tools, rollbacks can occur within minutes instead of hours. A good rollback process turns mistakes into learning opportunities instead of incidents. For compliance, auditors check that rollback plans exist and are occasionally tested, confirming that resilience is more than a theoretical concept. Continuous compliance scanning ensures that configurations remain aligned with policies over time. Automated tools compare system states to approved baselines and alert administrators to any deviation. Exception management allows certain deviations temporarily, but only with documented justification and expiration dates. This dynamic oversight ensures that compliance is both continuous and contextual. The ability to show historical scan results, exception approvals, and remediation timelines gives auditors confidence that compliance is actively maintained, not merely declared. Continuous scanning thus becomes a living control that links daily operations to strategic assurance. Evidence collection is essential to proving that configuration management works as designed. Baseline documents show the intended state. Configuration diffs demonstrate what changed. Approvals record who authorized the change, and exports confirm the system's current status. These artifacts collectively illustrate control across the full life cycle: plan, change, verify, and report. Effective evidence gathering is automated wherever possible, reducing manual burden. During audits, providing these exports quickly builds trust and shortens review cycles. The key is to treat evidence not as extra paperwork, but as a natural byproduct of well-managed operations. Common misconfigurations often arise from default settings left unchanged, unused services left running, or overly broad permissions granted during troubleshooting. Preventing these errors requires awareness and automated enforcement. Regular reviews of security baselines, combined with training for administrators, reduce the chance of these issues recurring. For example, disabling guest accounts, enforcing secure transport protocols, and restricting remote management interfaces are all small steps that produce large gains. Organizations that document lessons learned from past misconfigurations continuously refine their templates, turning experience into resilience. Each correction becomes a contribution to institutional knowledge and stronger preventive measures. A disciplined configuration program creates confidence that systems are both stable and secure. When configurations are deliberate, documented, and verified, the organization operates from a position of control rather than reaction. Auditors see evidence of continuous care, and operations teams benefit from predictable, repeatable deployments. The I-1 requirement for secure configuration management captures this philosophy: security built through consistency, oversight, and visibility. The result is not only compliance, but an environment that withstands change gracefully, knowing that every modification follows a proven, accountable path.